Drifting in my heart, I know a fool. Lying ain't my only golden rule.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a spreadsheet for your website, something similar to this one, with all your income, your total income, each expense, total expense, your net income, and then this little graph. In a previous video, I had somebody leave a comment asking me to make a video on this, so that's what I'm doing. I'm not an expert or anything on Google Spreadsheets. I just played around with it for an hour or so to figure all this out, so keep that in mind. But I'm just going to show you how to recreate it. It's really not too difficult. So looking at a blank spreadsheet, you'll just want to label everything. So for instance, if you want to keep track of your total sessions, on my spreadsheet I did organic sessions, and if it goes past it a little bit, then you can just grab this and drag it, and then total session, and then you'll just do this for each thing you want to keep track of. If you wanted affiliate links, ads, etc. And then down here you'd put the dates, so you'd want January, that, February, March, May, etc, etc. And then for this section you would want to add all this up, so you'd do gross income, and then I like to make this a different color. That way you know which ones are going to be a function and which ones you have to manually type. It's just for visual. So I'll just make it a different color. And then what you would do is you would click this box, then you click this box for functions, and then you'd click sum, and then you click the first box, and then you hold shift, and then click the next box for whichever ones you want it to add up together, and then you go ahead and press enter. And now this will add up all of these, but you actually don't want this part of it because this is something different. So you actually just want the sum of this and this, because these are just your total views. So say you had 30,000 views, but you wouldn't want that to go in here because it's not money. So then say you made $5 and $10, it'll automatically add it. So say March you made $10 and $11. So then you want to go to each one of these and create a function. So you click this box, sum, click, boom, enter, boom, enter, sum, click, shift click, enter. And then you just do that all the way down. It adds it up for you. 4 and 8, it adds it up. And then 12, 30. See, it keeps adding it up for you, so you don't have to add this up each time. And then down here, you would want to put total, and then you would do another function, and then you would just click this, shift click, all the way to the end, enter. Now added up all your gross income. Then the next thing you'd want would be your expenses. So say you spent money on articles, your hosting, maybe some backlinks, your premium, and then just total expenses. And so it would be the same thing, except for you want to put a negative, obviously. So say you spent minus 200 on articles, minus 50 on hosting, minus 50 for some backlinks, minus 10 for premium, and then you'd want to create a function, sum, click it, shift. So it's just the same thing for this side, except you want subtractions here, and then you still add it all together. But I'm just going to fill this in a little bit and show you. Alright, so I have it all filled in here. Now you just want to go ahead and do the functions. So again, you'll just do sum, shift, enter, sum, click that, hold shift, click, enter, sum, click, shift, enter, and one more time, enter. So now you have all your expenses for each month. So you want to come down here and again do the total. So you do the function sum, click that, hold shift, all the way down, and now you have your total expenses. Now all you need to do is do your net income. Also, don't forget to change the color of this box just to help you remember that these are a function. Then you want your net income. So for this, you'll just create a function, a sum of this, and so your net income would be negative 1,570. And if you want it to show up red, then you can click it and go to format, conditional formatting, format cells if less than, and then put 0, and then you want it to turn red, and then done. And then you want to do another one, conditional formatting, add another rule, greater than 0, and you want it to be green. And then if you left click this, you can copy it and click here, shift click the whole row, and then you want to paste format only. That way it won't copy the number, it'll only copy the value, the conditional formatting. So now if you were in the positive, we need to create formulas for this real quick. So you want to sum all of this. I'm just creating functions for this side. I forgot to do that. And see, as it's going down, when it's in the negative, it's red. And then if you were to say make $2,000 on affiliate income, now you see over here it's turned red. And then say, oh, I did the functions wrong for this. So for this, you want to sum this, and then you want to control click. That way you don't click all these. If you did shift click, it would click all of these. You just want the two. Control click, sum, click, control click. And now you see, since you're in the positive for your net income, which would be your 2015 minus your expenses is 1,555, you'll see that it's above zero and now it's in the green. So it's just a visual to help you see when you're profiting and when you're not. So you don't have to do that obviously, but I think it's pretty cool. And then for the chart, you just click insert and chart. Move it wherever you want, and then you just got to fill in the data. So down here, data range, move this chart where I can see so data range you want. So for the X axis, you want to go ahead and click this button here, and then you want to click this to hold shift and click all the ranges. Okay, so these are the settings you want to have, and then your X axis will be from A1 to about A13 because you don't want the total. And then for your series, these will be each of these. So you want your gross income total, you want your total expenses for each month, and then you want your net income. So you'll go ahead and do F2 colon F13 for this row, and then you'll add another series. It will be your expenses. So you'll do K2 K13, and then you start to see the graph is starting to show up, and then you'll do your net income be L2 L13. So then you'll see your profit, your expenses, and then your total. Then you can click these and you can change all the colors and stuff, change it to green or whatever. Also, if you want to add labels, you can. So for the first one, for your gross income, you'd want F1 label. Now it shows up gross income. And you could do the same thing for this here, add label, change it to expenses would be K1, something like that. I don't really like all the labels though, because it starts to feel cluttered. So I just leave it like that. You know, green normally means profit, red means expenses. So that's the basics of how to create your own spreadsheet. That's how I created it. And then the more you play with this stuff, the more you will figure it out and stuff. And then it's pretty simple, just filling in the information. If you need to add a cell, you can just insert one to the left, and now you have another cell. But when you do that, you'll then want to change these functions because it's only doing D to F. So hold on. Okay, so if you add a new row, it actually will, if you insert a new row in the middle like that, then you should be good. But if you insert a new row after this, then it won't be part of it. So you'll have to come here and redo this, and now it works. So if you ever want to add a new row, you want to add it between the cells that you already have, so that you don't have to fix the function all the way down, if that makes sense. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so I'm not super good at explaining everything. And then for the chart, if you just click this, you can go ahead and copy it and paste it, and then you'll just go in here and then you'll re-edit all this information when you start another column, because this would be site 1, and then you start another column for site 2, and then you would change this information and change this information to follow the website. And then eventually you can make your spreadsheet look something like this, where you have each expense, gross income, your total expenses, your net income, then your chart. And then I also added this little box here. I just manually fill this in anytime I get a payment in my bank account. Then I'll go ahead and record this just for tax reasons. I know how much money I've actually been paid when I go to pay taxes, except for right now I'm at a net loss of $5,000, so I won't owe any taxes. But yeah, and then whenever you want to add another section, you want to take this, cut it, and then paste it out of the way somewhere. and then you would take one of your cells up from the top, and then you want to take it all the way to here, copy, and then right click right there, paste. Now you have a whole nother site. So then you'd want to just, oops, you wouldn't want to delete that. Then you would just delete any of the information here, and it would be a whole new site. And then you would need to come here, copy the chart, paste it in. Then you'd want to change all the data for this part. So for the series H62 to H73, you would just change that to H82 and H93. And then you would just do that for each one of these, and then you would have your chart would be fixed. And then each of these are then going to have to be changed, so you have to redo some. I'm not sure if this is the most optimal way, quickest way to do spreadsheets, but it's the only way I really know how to do it. Is each time you make a new spreadsheet, you'll just have to change all your functions. You'll just work your way down for each one, and then you'll do the same thing for this side, and you'll do the same thing for your net income, and then you'll have to do the same thing down here. So basically you can copy the format and everything, but then you'll have to redo all the functions. And then down here at the totals, I just took the total from each website, all these totals. So I would click this, create a sum, go all the way up, click, hold control, click that one, hold control, click that one, click that one, click that one, and then you'd have your total for every website. And then you would do that for all of this. So that's how you would add another site to your spreadsheet. So it's pretty simple. If you don't want to have to make your own spreadsheet, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below of my spreadsheet here. And then all you have to do is delete all this data and put your own website's information in there instead. So you won't have to do all this yourself. I hope this video helped you a little bit, and hopefully this spreadsheet will be of some use to you. I know I'm not the best at explaining things. I'm just learning Google Spreadsheets myself, but somebody wanted to know how I do it. So there's that, and let me know if you have any tips on Google Spreadsheets to increase my productivity, because I know some things I do is not the fastest way. It's the only way that I know how to do it. Anyway, like this video if you haven't, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.